Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Big DK Energy Podcast. My name is Danny K, or the DK of the Big DK Energy, and today is a little bit of an experimental episode. See, I am an alumni of the best school in the country, the University of Central Florida, and today we're playing one of our most heated upcoming rivals, the Cincinatti Bearcats. And joining me today are other super fans of this great school, including a repeat guest of Mr. UCF Football Updates, or Alan Levin.
What's going on?
Welcome back. And
Thank you.
We're having like kind of a rotating guest system, so but the permanent guest for today is Mr. Matt Shields, and joining us for however long he wants to is Gabe Wolf. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Chair. Hey, thanks for having me, Danny. I really appreciate it. This is my first podcast ever, so bear with me a little bit, but I'm really happy and honored to be here for you. Thank you.
I'm so glad to hear that, guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to test something like this out. It's just like, of course, we lost versus ECU last week, so, that was kind of heartbreaking, but, I'm bringing some kind of game day experience.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying. I don't know. What did you think about that loss, Alan?
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat that loss. One offensive touchdown. We gave up the most points defensively we had all season. We just didn't look good. 4 turnovers. We just came out flat. There's no other way to describe it. ECU had a great game plan. They held the ball away from us all game, and, we just didn't produce at all. So I can't even really have no silver linings from that game at all.
Yeah, and you know what? To go off of that point, it seemed even worse because of the circumstances about today and the possibility of College Gameday coming here, being ranked nationally for the first time in a little bit now. Really weak. Yeah, exactly. And we had a lot of anticipation for today, and obviously we need to come back strong and prove that we still belong on the nation's top scale. So,
see, the thing is that today's a big game for us, Gabe, as you could possibly agree, and that is versus.
Well, what I was saying is, like, now we're back at home. ECU away game might have rattled us a little bit. Honestly, possibly a little bit of just not being prepared. Like, we weren't ready for ECU to come out like that. I love what we have going for us today. It looks like the fan base is out. They're out to play.
They definitely are.
Beautiful tailgate set up, and I'm excited to pack the bounce house.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get a ticket last minute because it's sold out. That's how big this game is. I would say that, as we discussed in our episode, Alan, that Cincinnati is probably going to be one of our main rivals going into the Big 12, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're losing USF. Obviously they're staying in the American. We're going off to the Big 12. Cincy's the most logical rival. This is our 8th game against them in school history, and we've kind of built some bad blood between the two schools, just between, we've been the two kind of best schools in the conference. So this is a big one, though. They beat us 3 years in a row. We got to end that skid today, and at home, that's our best chance to do it.
Definitely, and you know what, going off that as well, Cincinnati has been a perennial best of the group of 5 now for the last couple of years. And we had that title, obviously, 2017, 2018. We were the best team in the group of 5. Cincinnati now has that title pretty secured, and bringing that rivalry into the Big 12 is going to be phenomenal, and I'm excited.
Absolutely, and
I agree with that.
I don't know, Gabe, what do you think our chances are of winning against Cincy today?
I honestly like our chances. I think the fact that it's homecoming, everybody's hyped up. Spirit Splash was yesterday.
Yeah, RG3 was there, and we kicked his school's ass.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
That's true.
Just the fact that it's homecoming, it looks like I said earlier, the people are out today, so we're at blackout. I like our shot. I'm a little worried about JRP, just a little bit.
Yep.
Just to be honest with you guys.
That's fair.
But I think if we bring the energy at the bounce house, that's our key to win right now. Like, that's our fans. We just got to get loud, get the team into it, and I like it. I think we can do it. I think we can pull it off.
This is probably the biggest home game of the year for sure. And Desmond Ritter, I remember when we had game day the last time we played Cincinnati at home, he had said, and he had played in some major games throughout his career, he said that was by far the most hostile environment he played in. We really have that opportunity today to bring the energy again and really shake these guys up. The American Conference, obviously home games aren't as crazy as the SEC and the Big Ten, but for this game today, it's really bringing a possibility of bringing that energy that these guys aren't used to when they go on the road against Temple or against ECU or wherever that may be.
Yeah, I agree with that. Going off that, this is going to be the biggest, most electric home crowd we've probably had since 2018 in my mind. It's sold out. The crowd is amped up. Even though we lost last week, a little bit of the wind beneath our wings was taken out, but we're still 5-2. They're 6-1. They're the number 20 team in the country. We're hyped up. if we can win out, we're in the conference championship. We control our destiny right now. And Cincy is the weakest it's been in probably about 2-3 years. You know, Ben Bryant has not looked great. He already has 6 picks this year. They only beat USF by 4. They beat SMU by 2. They're winning games, but they're very narrow. I think that with the home field advantage we're going to have in this game, it's going to be tight, but I think we can win this game.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but we got a little Gus birthday magic.
Yeah, Gus's birthday
Gus is
yesterday.
57th, I think.
That's right.
Happy
yeah.
birthday, Gus.
Shout
Happy
out to Coach
birthday,
Malzahn.
Now, Alan, are you surprised that we were favorites in this game? I know initially it opened up as dogs.
Yeah, I was super shocked
by
about that,
2.5, but I think we're favorited right now by 1.5
Yeah,
points.
1.5.
Really?
Not surprised. I think you always get 3 points for the home team. I thought going in, you know, that we would probably be anywhere from even to +3 to -3. So I think that's a fair. People started betting on us as the home team. We haven't lost a home game in conference under Gus Malzahn yet, undefeated. So not too surprised, but it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, and you know, I'm just grateful that Sauce Gardner and Desmond Ritter are on to better things, because they were giving us some pretty big headaches the past couple years.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
And so, besides the losses to ECU and to Louisville, how do you think our team has been so far this year? Okay. What's up, Cam?
Sorry, this is what we get when you get a tailgate.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, what was
Say it again.
I said, besides the losses at Louisville and last week, what do you think about the team this year?
I would say so far the main word that comes to mind, and I think everyone would agree, is inconsistent. I think we've played great, and we've had some highlights of that 2017 year with Milton and all those studs, and then we've had times where we're totally flat. I mean, we have so many weapons in our receivers with Kobe Hudson and Kimori Gamble and Javon Baker, but sometimes I feel like I'm asking myself, where are these receivers? You know, where are these playmakers? Because they kind of disappear, and I'm not sure if that's just the play calling or if that's just Plumlee maybe not seeing these reads, but I feel like inconsistency has been the main plague of the UCF offense this year.
I will say that. However, one thing that's kind of consistent, though, I mean, you know, it's not their fault, you know, because they probably have to go on a lot, but defense. Well, I mean, what would you two say about that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, our defense is shaky also. It's inconsistent also. I think our cornerbacks have been exposed a little bit. I think our linebackers just haven't been in the right positions in a lot of the big plays we've given up. And I think we just need to. Let me backtrack a little bit. A lot of our halftime adjustments have been great on defense. And
we are a second half team.
If whatever we do at halftime, if we could just implement those strategies and that game plan like in the first quarter, it'd be hard to score on us. Maybe you could elaborate a little bit.
No, I agree with that 100%. I mean, you've seen the FAU game. You've seen a bunch of games where the first half, even the Temple game where we blew them out, they scored 10 points on us in the first quarter. Then what happens over the next 3 quarters, we shut them out. So the defense, I agree, it has been a little shaky. It's been the strength of the team this year, but look what happened last week. We gave them 34. They only had to punt 1 time. It looks like against better opponents, it's been a little bit shaky, but it is the strength of the team. I love the defensive line, what they're doing. The linebackers are okay. What scares me, like you said, is the secondary. The corners got exposed last week. I mean, ECU does have that receiver that's going to be playing on Sundays, but overall the secondary has not been as impressive as I thought they were going to be. And since he's going to be a hard test today for them.
It's all right. You know, we're Knights. We've been put up to the test before, and the beauty of college football is there's always upsets. Even though that we're a favorite to win.
And,
it would kind of feel like an upset, though.
Sorry to interrupt.
It really does.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna pop out of this chair. Looks like I have some grill duties to man. The burgers are cooking.
Oh,
So
Thanks for
Dave
joining.
Wolf, by the way, has put on an unbelievable tailgate here at Memory Mall. I just
Thank
gotta
you,
say,
man.
he's really coordinated this entire thing.
Tailgate Maestro.
Yep, and it's a
Tailgate
great
chair.
alumni event. And
shout out to Matt Feeder, also my co-chair. We got the truck right here.
well, get him in.
It's been a great time.
We'll
I'm
somehow
gonna hop
get
on
him
the
in.
burgers. I'll bring you a burger. You guys want burgers?
I'll take one. Yep, I'll
yeah.
take
Coming
one.
right up. Pleasure joining y'all.
Definitely. All right. Well, looks like it's us 3 until somebody.
I
subs
like it. I'll move in.
Yeah.
More closer here.
We don't bite much, so we got a few more games up for this season, and You know, surprisingly, I would not expect Tulane to be good.
Yeah, Tulane's having a hell of a year. I mean, first time ranked now since I think since the 90s. I mean, and they just won their first game as a top 25 team last year. They got a lot of momentum. I mean, that's going to be a ruckus atmosphere in New Orleans next week or the week after. 2 weeks from now. Yeah. So I mean, we have a lot left on the schedule here. That's going to be not an easy task. So it starts with today, obviously, but looking ahead, I mean, we got Memphis on the road next week. That's a tough matchup. I mean, Memphis is always, I feel like every week we play, people are giving us their best chances and their best atmosphere, because UCF has kind of been hated now in the American, and obviously we're leaving, so we're going to get everyone's best year after year.
No, I agree. I mean, I said this in my preview last week prior to playing ECU last week. I said this 4-game stretch, ECU, Cincinnati, Memphis, and Tulane was going to be the toughest 4-game stretch of the season, and it was our biggest test, and we failed the first week of it. If we can get back on track and beat Cincy today, I like our odds against Memphis, and you said it right, Tulane's nationally ranked. It's going to be a very tough game on the road, but if we start with a win today against nationally ranked Cincinnati, I think we'll build some habits, and we'll have at least some momentum going into that game.
And some confidence as well, because our team is very young still, I believe, and even in maybe not in age, but in transfers we're still dealing with a lot of
chemistry.
New players, exactly. And I feel like that's a young team that's trying to find a big win here and find some confidence going forward. But we're going to need that win today.
Got to do it at the bounce house. That's the best place to do it.
Without a doubt. Yep.
Yeah, this is literally our home turf. You don't mess with us at our home turf.
Yeah, I think we're 30 and 3.
I was going to say that we've had since 2017, we've had 3 losses at home, and 2 of them were in the COVID year, which we weren't sold out games. So the only loss at home really is the Louisville one this year.
Louisville, right? Yeah.
So based on the trajectory that we're going at, do you think we're going to go to a New Year's Six Bowl?
This year, no, unfortunately. I don't believe so. I think there's just too many group of 5 teams that are still, have an upward trajectory. And I think we're going to have to pull out a lot of big wins to make that happen. And we're going to need help from the other teams to lose. So I don't know if that's in the cards. I'm a very big positive fan, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. First of all, I think the most losses that a group of 5 team has gone to a New Year's Six Bowl is 1, and we already had 2. But how it's structured is it's the highest ranked group of 5 teams. So if we happen to win out, including the conference championship, and we finish, that'd be 11-2, maybe. But you have some group of 5 teams that still have 1 loss, or I don't know if there's any undefeated. Maybe Coastal Carolina, maybe they have 1 loss. Yep. So maybe if we win out, but I don't like our odds to do that. So I'm going to say not this year.
All right. You know what? It's all right. There will be plenty of New Year's Six Bowls. Sorry, I thought I felt like a water drop.
I felt a drop or 2 here. A little overcast, which isn't the end of the world. A 3:30 game, it's going to be stifling hot.
I'm just worried about these things, though.
Well, yeah, obviously,
yeah. But it looks like we're okay so far. So you know what? We're just going to ride with it. But what bowls do you possibly see us in, if you can even think of any?
I've seen some predictions. The Military Bowl, which is up in Annapolis, I believe.
Some people said that we were going to Gaspee again.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw Gasparilla Bowl against Miami. I saw, but it's so early to tell. So many things can happen. It's just kind of like the top 25 rankings so early in the season. I feel like it's always too early to tell where the cards are going to land. But I would hope we get some sort of big name Power 5 team. Yeah, exactly. And maybe even if they're not having the biggest or the best of seasons, to have a big team to play, make it a little bit interesting and show that we belong. I think that's the best we could ask for at this point.
Last year beating UF,
yeah, definitely.
It wasn't the best UF team we've ever seen, but it was still a big win. We beat them pretty handily. From what I know about UCF's strategy in bowl games, if they're not going to a New Year's Six Bowl, they like to keep it in state because they want their fans there. They don't want a lot of travel. They don't want a lot of expenses. So if we do end up not, winning out or having a great season, my prediction would be Gasparilla, Cure, Boca Raton, one of these in-state bowl games is what I think would happen.
All right. I mean, you know what? I'll take it because, as we all experienced in 2015, I like going to bowl games, especially
it's an
since
extra game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it really is.
It's one more tailgate.
It gives the fans another opportunity to see the team and to build some momentum going into that next year. So I'm all for that, even if it means that it's not the best bowl that we could possibly get. But I would be thrilled with an in-state bowl game like that.
Yep, I agree. And so, Alan, you hype up everybody else, including newer UCF upcomers to UCF football, but but this is the guy that got me into UCF football.
Nice.
So how I know Matt is he was in my fraternity. He was one of the older brothers, and he kind of took me under his wing into how to be a UCF super fan. Literally, this guy would somehow manage to wrangle up 50-plus drunk fraternity guys, which is literally, you can barely get two to follow directions, but he managed to always corral us and be a shepherd to the games so that we always showed out in force. The best of times and the worst of times too, man.
Yeah, definitely. I'm fortunate to be a UCF fan here. I get a little nostalgic and a little, in my feels, as the kids would say. But, I really enjoy the fact that I've seen this team, and as obviously you were around at that point as well, go from a Conference USA, middle of the road, middle of the pack team. I mean, the classic line was we're a drinking school with a football problem.
Yep.
And now to really see that transformation, I feel like I was here at the right time to see that upward transition. College game day my senior year and all that. I mean, we literally went from no man's land to the pinnacle of college football, and that's really what strengthens my fan base here with UCF. So.
I remember my freshman year was when Bortles really killed it, and so you would always yell Bortle ball, and that would be like our code word for being like, let's go.
Oh yeah, I remember standing on a cooler and trying to rally everybody up. It was like, wait a minute, there's a football game here as well. They were just out to have beers and enjoy the tailgate, but I was like, let's go. We got to get a group going, and we did.
Good.
Well, I can respect that more than anyone, because so when my freshman year, it was 07, and at that time we were in Conference USA, like you mentioned, and I sometimes had to go to games alone because people didn't want to go to the games. I'd be tailgating with 50 people, and no one wanted to go to the games. I mean, we weren't that good. I mean, that year we were good, but in general, there was not a lot of excitement around the program. So I can appreciate you being like, hey, let's get to the game, because, look, our players deserve it. If we want to be a big-time program, which our trajectory is there, you got to fill out the stadium. You have to. You can't have empty seats. They thrive off of our energy, and we've had it for the past 4 or 5 years, but we got to maintain that, because when I was in school, you'd see like sometimes half empty, quarter empty. It wasn't always pretty, but now that's awesome that you did that, though.
Trust me, it did take some time, even when I came in 2013 to slowly fill the seats. But then like my first game was UCF versus the Akron Zips.
I think we actually, it was an absolute blowout if I remember. I
do.
It was like 63-0 or something like
Bortles
that.
had a pretty crazy touchdown in that game. I think he got like tackled and threw it to J.J. Ward.
I remember that.
Bro, see, that's one player we forgot to talk about on our podcast, because I was watching Best on College Catches, and of course
that catch is
What a Temple, yeah. And everything that happened that season to have us go to the Fiesta Bowl
Cardiac
against Baylor.
Nights.
Yeah, that was literally the Cardiac Nights.
We had one loss, and it was 3 points down to a ranked team.
Yeah, that was South Carolina at home. Steve Spurrier. That was a great game as well.
That's when they had
Jadeveon Clowney.
That's
when he got
we shut him down that game. We shut him down that game.
Hey guys, you can't be on a tailgate without shotgunning the beer.
You're gonna tailgate. We're gonna do this. I feel like I've already done one of these.
All right, well now we're doing 2.
Daddy, I like it.
I don't want to get the beers wet. I don't want to get the mics wet.
Don't worry. Go UCF, charge on.
No.
Oh, come on.
It was too cold.
It was. My throat was burning.
Ice cold, dude. It was ice cold.
On the wire.
Ice cold.
On the wire.
It was too cold to drink.
My chest is burning.
Get out of here. I've now been mortified on national TV here.
I'm surprised I was able to do that,
Listen,
man.
that was just ice cold, hit my chest. I had to drop it. That's just what happens.
I know.
That was tougher for
me. When you hit 30 there, ice cold beers. And
I can concur with that. When you're over 30 and you have a kid, it's really tough.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And you're here with your wife and kid, too. So props to you for doing that, man.
That wasn't easy. That was tough.
That was. I'm surprised I was able to finish that. Like, I'm already pretty hungover as
I'm not
it
a
is.
college kid anymore.
No, you're not. Well, and so that's what Matt was saying before about us being a drinking school with a football problem.
Hey, UCF will always be somewhat of a party school, but the best football schools usually are party schools. So.
That's right. I'm just grateful that we're a fan of not only one of the best teams currently, but it's just that we're also one of the youngest best teams currently.
That's true. We're the youngest team to ever win a BCS Bowl. I mean, people forget that. We haven't even been D1 since, what, 96?
I think it's been since 96.
Yeah, 96. I mean, if you think
we're a
about
young program.
You put that in perspective. I mean, you know, we're the youngest team, like I said, to be ranked in the top 10, I believe, as well as win the BCS Bowl.
BCS for
I
sure.
mean, that's, you know, I mean, that just shows the upward trajectory of UCF.
We have a lot of firsts as a group of five, and just in general. I mean, people don't realize, like, when we got all that hate for the national championship, all this stuff that people like called us a whatever program, people don't realize how young we are. Like, you think like UF, FSU, they've been around for what, 100 years? I mean, we've only been at FBS, like you said, for what, 20 years? I mean, we're new.
Yeah. And, you know, we're alumni, and so, you know, we like to reminisce, especially since we are in this current era, but, like, I love the fact that we can all appreciate the come up, and, like, wasn't there one completely defeated year before 2015?
Yeah, George O'Leary.
Yeah, his last year, which really led to, you know, obviously him getting kicked out and Scott Frost coming along, but, you know, I think the team kind of gave up at that point midway through the season, unfortunately, on him. He really brought us to a new level, though, you know, forget that year, put that year aside.
We made a bowl game ever since that year.
Yep, I mean, we beat Georgia in the Liberty Bowl in 2010, 10-6, 10-7. It was like 10-6. I mean, that was a hell of a win against an SEC team. Georgia wasn't their best, but still, that's a win against a perennial powerhouse. Yeah, exactly. So,
do you think a statue by the Bounce House is deserved?
I think so, definitely. I mean, you know, he was the first coach to really bring us to that next level, and now we're kind of reaping the benefits still of where he brought us. And then, luckily, each coach afterwards, I mean, Scott obviously brought us to a new level. Heupel continued the success for the most part, and now we got
he's having more success in Tennessee.
What was that?
He's having more success in Tennessee.
Yeah, you know, he looks great at Tennessee. I'm not going to take anything away from
he just
how
beat
he
Bama.
He just beat Bama. I am very curious to see how he performs when it's all his recruits. Because right now he has a lot of Jeremy Pruitt's recruits. That I'm not going to say that, you know, that doesn't mean he doesn't deserve credit, because he does. They're undefeated. But let's see how he does in about 3 years. Maybe he'll crush it. I mean, Tennessee's a school that recruits itself. But it was time for him to move on out of UCF. I was
about to say, maybe we were a practice school for him, and now that he's in the SEC, maybe he might actually do his job.
Yeah. We'll see
Burr, too soon?
Maybe. No, we'll see what happens. He wasn't great as the OC at Mizzou, but he looks really good at Tennessee. I mean, they're already ready to build him a statue. Speaking of statues, I mean, he gets all this love on Twitter, but let's see how he is consistently year after year in a very tough conference.
Just curious, regardless of what they did for us or not, who was your favorite UCF coach?
I think Scott Frost. I mean, he just seemed to be almost like a big brother to the players. I mean, the way he recruited, and he really brought that UCF fast offense. I mean, that was totally new for us at that time. We had been used to the George O'Leary pound the ground and run the ball, and Scott Frost brought in all those extra plays. I mean, you know, where we'd be putting up all those weird logos on the sideline and then running the ball, moving the ball fast rather, and you know, I really like Scott just from a younger guy, up-and-coming coach type of play. I mean, a player's coach. I feel like all the players would run through a wall for him. He was really the one to drive this program north. So
yeah, I have to agree that Scott Frost is probably mine. I mean, I've only seen 4 coaches as you have, and Frost was probably my favorite just because he brought us the most memorable year in school history. I mean, no one other, and probably the most memorable recruit ever in Mackenzie Milton. So Frost, like you said, he was a player's coach. Guys would run through a wall for him. He seemed like a great guy. It's unfortunate what happened to him at Nebraska.
Do you think he regrets leaving?
You know, I do kind of, but I think it's like us. If hypothetically any of us were coaches at, I don't know, Iowa State or something like that, and UCF called and said, hey, come home and coach us, we're all going. I mean, how could you say no to that? So he had to do it. Maybe he regrets it because of how it ended, but I think 10 times out of 10 he would have made the same decision because he had to.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. I don't know if you read that article with Mark Daniels.
That was a great article.
It's an unbelievable article about it. Basically, it talked about him meeting with Scott Frost in a golf cart ride, and Scott saying that it was such a difficult decision he had to make. He felt like it was a no-win situation. Either he goes to Nebraska, and if he fails, he won't be welcome in Nebraska or welcome back at UCF. And it was really a heart-wrenching article about how difficult of a decision that was. He felt like
was,
UCF
like,
was his
crying,
home.
right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was tearing up, and tears were running down his face with Mark Daniels.
Personally, I thought that was really insensitive of that reporter to be like, hey, we've been here about Nebraska right after the conference
After
championship.
the Memphis game, yeah, that was, he literally said in tears, I think, as well. He said, I just want to be with my team. And I remember him going to the locker room there, and we all said one more year. I remember chanting that at the Memphis game, and because we knew the writing was on the wall, he was going to go home.
And it was also the almost the worst time to leave, because like you're in the midst of the program's best season in school history. You were leading a 12-0 team that's putting together something so like if they were like 9-3 and we're gonna go to some whatever bowl game, it's like all right, probably a little easier to leave. But you just put together this special season. To leave that, it's got to be difficult.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Sorry, the cameras.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tailgate here at.
Hold on, I need to interrupt. Wow, Danny. They make these things really thick these days. Where'd you buy this microphone?
I got it from Amazon.
On Amazon. Perfect. Was it a Prime Day special, or was it like 3 to 5 day shipping? How long did you wait for something so dense and
Robust.
thick? Yeah.
It's pretty girthy.
It actually came within 2 days.
Wow, that's impressive. So Danny, really quick, I gotta ask you some important questions. What are your thoughts on UCF football?
My thoughts on UCF football, I think we're the best, and no school can tell us otherwise.
I gotta cut you off really quick. So what I've been noticing with UCF football, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's riding the Gus bus, right? Are you riding the Gus bus, JP?
I'm on the
Pearson,
Gus
are you riding the Gus bus? Are you riding the Gus bus?
Yeah, I am.
So don't get me wrong, I think it is so impressive that we are all riding the Gus bus. You know what the problem is with buses? When you approach
They break down.
a railroad track, the bus always stops.
That's a fair point.
Someone needs to let the Gus bus know that there's no railroad tracks in there, that we need to be the train.
We need to be the train.
Over to you, Danny. What are your questions?
My questions, I wouldn't say questions, but we are wrapping up the tailgate, so we are not wrapping up the show like right this very instant, but here's the next 3 that are joining us. This is Brian Fine, Josh Paradise, and Miss Kirsten Stoll. So, what are your favorite memories of tailgating as undergrads, if you have any?
Oh, do you mind if I go first?
Feel free, brother.
I gotta be completely honest with you here. I had my first beer at Tailgate, and let me tell you something. I don't know whose idea it was, but someone went to Costco and they got these things called Kirkland Lights.
Turkey lights?
K-I-R-K, Kirkland, L-A-N-D, Kirkland Light. 39 cents per beer, Costco.
I remember those.
To the UCF student, public school tuition, you cannot find a better deal. So viewers, I highly recommend that at Tailgate, go get yourself some Kirkland, pronounced Kirky Lights. Over to you, Danny.
Appreciate it. Kirsten, what about you? What's your favorite tailgating memory that you have? Oh, Kenneth.
Wait, Kirsten, I have to ask you a question really quick. At tailgates, they had these big things called letters, block letters, right? These big things. We had them. We had a Z, a B, and a T. To you viewers, it was backwards. To me, it was right ways. Kirsten, did you ever sit on the letters? Were you able to see things better from the letters at tailgate? Did it increase your necessity to wear sunblock at tailgates? Wow, that is risky business. We're here in Florida, Central Florida. Let me tell you something, viewers. The theme of Central Florida, it comes from that Usher song, You Gotta Let It Burn. Kirsten, did you burn at tailgates? Danny, over to you.
JP, did you burn at tailgates?
See, I always thought Let It Burn by Usher was about chlamydia. So, knowing at this point that it's
Wait, hold on, I gotta
so
cut
much
you off there, JP. Are you a UCF student? Were you?
At one point in my life,
Did you
yes,
go to
I was,
FSU?
Brian. Did I go to FSU?
FSU.
I was there for Halloween my sophomore year.
And tell me, that year, did you let it burn?
I let it burn that year.
All right, Danny, back to you.
You date this guy, so I see what you got to put up with all the time.
JP, we need to see the face of the viewers, please.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, Central Florida, let it
Burn, baby.
back to you, Danny.
Let it burn. Oh man, speaking of burned, how do you think UCF is going to do today? Do you think we're going to get burned, or do you think we're going to do well?
Well, come on, ladies and gentlemen. The NIL started a couple months ago. Half the team's letting it burn as it goes right now.
Burn their bank accounts?
I think that the Gus Bus is watching this live while we're filming it. And we're not stopping at the goddamn train tracks today, ladies and gentlemen. We are not stopping. The driver, he's not going to look left. He's not going to look right. He's going to give it to Bowser. Bowser's going to lower his head. He's going to say, there ain't such a thing as a concussion. I'm going to run into the big boys. I'm going to lower my goddamn shoulder. And I'm going to let it burn. Back to you, Danny K.
Excellent. I like that. I like that synopsis, especially since that's exactly what we need in order to beat a team like Cincy. Now, in the past, Cincy has given us some trouble, if I'm correct. At least they've given me many anxiety-ridden periods of time. But the best part is, my heart rate is up so much that my body thinks I'm working out.
All right, hold on. I got it. Hold on, really quick. Really quick. I've been talking a lot during this interview really quick, so I need a sip of water. Hold on, before I ask this question. All right, Danny K, real quick. What is the mascot of Cincinnati?
It's a Bearcat.
What the fuck is a Bearcat, Danny K? Is it a cat or is it a bear?
I don't know, man.
Look, don't get me wrong. In today's society, right, everything can breed with everything, right? We have golden doodles, bernedoodles. For some reason, a cocker spaniel and a poodle is a cockapoo, but it should be a cockadoodle. What the hell is a Bearcat?
That is a fantastic question. What is a Bearcat, you two? Can you elaborate on that?
You know, this is a pretty tough position to be put in as someone who doesn't really specialize in animals per se.
Is it a male bear with a female cat, or a male cat with a female bear?
You know, if possible, would love to plead the fifth on this one. Really don't feel like.
Are they marsupials?
Like it's
do
tough
they
for me to
live in
speculate.
their mother's pouch, JP?
Fuck it, why not?
Look, don't get me wrong. I think what's happening at Jackson State is incredible. But I think game day should be here, and we are here right now. And we need to understand, what is a Bearcat America?
I tried bringing the game day experience, but this is very lackluster. I mean, RG3 was in our background. I think that kind of counts.
Is he behind us now?
Nah, he left a while ago, sadly. I mean, I'd say that he should run over here, but I don't want him to tear his ACL too soon.
That's not right. It's the Washington Commanders, Washington football team, the Washington Redskins, Dan Snyder.
Dan Snyder, what a guy.
Shame on you.
Bad man.
Who's your team, Kirsten? Wait,
Oh my God.
Wait, the
Did you
Chicago
say-
Bears?
Or wait, did she say Bearcats?
Oh, Bearcat. I was talking
Bearcats fan,
I was talking about NFL, but
Wait, why don't we talk about the fact that she's a fan of the Cincinnati Bearcats?
Yeah, seriously,
Yeah.
Danny K.
UCF tailgate.
Danny K, hold on. Why are we deflecting here? You're not
Yeah,
even
what
on
the-
the spot. We're trying to put Kirsten on the spot. She is on the hot seat.
She loves being
is
put on the
so
spot.
hot right now. Her hair
she's really
is
hot.
starting to singe.
The seat.
JP.
Oh my God, guys. DK, you have a fire extinguisher?
JP?
nah, sorry. The budget didn't allow for one.
JP, you are so biased. You guys live together, is my understanding.
Of course, yeah.
That was beautiful, America. Do you see these compliments here? My wife is beautiful too, by the way. She's right over there.
Keep going.
America, I gotta tell you something. Here on UCF Game Day, sponsored by Danny K. He's got that big DK energy. Right here, we have Danny K, class of God knows when. Brian Fine, class of God knows when. Josh Paradise, class of God knows when. And Kirsten Stoll, class of God knows when. This has been my absolute pleasure, and probably no one else's but mine, being here on the big DK energy. America, stay tuned for the game. It's going to be a big one. I hope you enjoyed this conversation talking about big, thick, heavy microphones. We put people on the hot seat. We've worn bucket hats, headbands, backward hat, and forward hat. Both dad hats.
Be fine. I think you've actually been at the location mentioned on the back of my hat here if you want to take a look at it.
Oh my God. Shamwari Game Reserve.
South Africa.
Wait, the Shamwari. Isn't
We've hit
it
it
that
all.
cloth that picks up all the liquid? Oh, never mind. That's a ShamWow.
ShamWow. Sham who?
ShamWow.
Wow. America, we've literally hit every single point today on Big DK Energy. Wait, hold on. I think I'm getting a call from a viewer. Please hold. Hold on 1 second. Yes. You have a question for Big TK Energy. We have a question, viewers. Wait, hold on 1 second. I didn't think we were live, DK. You better not lie to the viewers and tell them you're editing this. Beep. Because I'm getting a call. Hold on, we have a question. Yeah? Uh-huh. No, I can't ask that. I can't. That's totally inappropriate. All right, hold on. Fine. I'm going to do it. Danny, can I do it?
Sure. What's your question?
I'm going to do it.
Or what's the viewer's question?
Hold on. All right, yeah, I'm going to ask. Enjoy. Bye. Josh Paradise. Is it true you sit when you pee?
Yes.
America, we've seen it all today. Look, there's nothing else to talk about. We've gotten all the answers. I love you all. Enjoy the game.
Hold on
Cheers,
a second.
Danny.
Before
Cheers.
we cut this thing off.
Okay.
I don't even know if these fucking microphones work.
They are.
You could just be playing a cruel fucking trick on us.
No,
right
we got
now.
it. We got a call. It was live.
That's true.
It was live.
I didn't even consider
We got a call from Washington State.
Yeah, that was my fault. TK,
Yo.
you've done a lot of podcasts, right? You're on what, episode 40?
This is going to be 50 something, but currently at this point I'm working on 48.
Wow.
48. That's a lot of podcasts.
Thank you.
Has anyone ever kind of turned the tables and interviewed you?
No.
Are we gonna interview DK right now?
I think we might have to.
If y'all want
Pearson,
to.
What do you think? I keep trying to end this, but we're gonna keep it going really quick.
Okay.
All right. So really quick, who wants to ask Big DK his first question? JP. I've been talking a lot. I'm harsh, brother.
You want to hit him with the trick question?
do you have a question?
She's been waiting all day to ask you one. Did you just sneeze?
I'm gonna actually pass this one.
All right. I'm fine. I'm gonna do it.
I think B-Fun's got this one.
Would you rather?
He's been waiting.
I hope that this buzzing sound isn't from our audio, but fuck, marry, kill, pasta, rice, bread.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I would marry rice. I would fuck pasta and then kill bread.
Wow.
Yeah.
I always knew this thing had a man for penne.
I thought that you guys were referring to like 3 main characters on a TV show that I wasn't familiar with.
No.
And then I realized about 2/3 of the way through that you were just talking about different food groups.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Usually I tend to start these kind of questions off with, very, very similar questions, I would say. Talking about making love to various food groups, other inanimate objects, things of that nature. So
Okay.
It's kind of tough being put on the spot when someone steals your thunder. But I mean, great minds think alike.
Hey, hold on. I only hit carbohydrates. All right,
That's
we still have fruits. We have legumes.
That is true.
We have vegetables. We
is
have
true.
proteins. I haven't studied the food groups since lower school, and that was a really long time ago. But I think there's a lot of thunder left here for JP.
That is a fair point, one that I haven't considered. But I think if our first 2 questions for DK are fuck, marry, kill for various food groups, I think things could start getting a little bit weird.
All right. So what do you got for me, JP?
So for that purpose, let's switch things up a little bit.
Okay.
And then I have to go soon.
Okay.
I'm getting that eye. It's game day.
All right.
That's a good point.
You can head out whenever. But unless you want to stay until the end of the game.
All right, Danny,
Yes.
I've known you for many years now.
Since 7th grade.
It's a long motherfucking time. I know that you have a great eclectic taste when it comes to music.
Okay.
So if you wouldn't mind sharing with us your 3 favorite musical artists of all time.
You said
Starting
30?
with, no,
3?
just your top 3.
My top 3.
So wait. But you got to start with number 3. That way you're building
Okay,
up suspense for
got
number
it.
1. And then when you announce number 1, you have to just do a belly flop, just onto the ground for like that added effect. You know what I mean?
Okay. At the number 3 spot for my favorite artist, we've got, drum roll please. Actually, it used to be Kanye West, but not anymore. I think we all know why. So my number 3 would actually be Gorillaz.
Wait, really?
I love Gorillaz.
Brass monkey. That funky
How do you
monkey.
feel about-
That's the Beastie Boys.
I know.
Go ahead.
All right.
That's true. I was just gonna ask how you felt about Harambe.
Number 2.
Number 2.
I would have to say is the Wu-Tang Clan.
Holy fuck.
Can you show us a
Unexpected, but
Wu-Tang
great
move
choice.
really quick? Excellent.
Holy shit.
Number
Number 1.
Number.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Solid choice.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Solid
we've
choice.
touched it all. We've touched the Bearcats. We've touched food groups. We've touched music.
We touched each other.
We've touched
right?
each other.
Oh, so folks, as we are wrapping this show up, we've
It's
seen an
over.
eclectic amount of personalities here at a UCF tailgate. Hopefully you got a glimpse of what it's like being a UCF night, being
What
a
it
part
used-
of the best fan bases in the nation.
Time out. What it used to be like. I can't speak for today. I graduated quite some time ago. Back to Danny K.
You know, and it's okay because we're still going to be great whether we win this game or not. And going forward, I'm just glad that I get to experience this with friends such as yourself. So to everyone who came on the show, including you three, for helping me with this episode and being such passionate fans of the Knights that we can educate the rest of the nation about how great we are. That gives all of you guys big DK energy.
You were my hands when I couldn't reach. Thank you, DK.
Of course. So from all of us here at the Big DK Energy Podcast, we're signing off. Go Knights, charge on. Go Knights.